Today's conversation is the 10 signs that your imposter syndrome is in the driving seat. Tell me if this resonates. The year is slipping by and you've worked so hard, but still you don't feel worthy, you don't feel enough. On paper you look great, you get told all the time how awesome you are, but you struggle to believe it for yourself. And yet, you still have big dreams. You know you're just getting started. You just need the courage, the conviction and the confidence to go out there and make it happen. Because you know, in your heart of hearts, that it's possible for you. You haven't worked so hard in your career or business to be average. You are here to live your purpose and fulfill your potential and live your version of a dream career, which in turn allows you to live your dream life. And this is the scary secret. You understand that if you are the problem, then you are also the solution. You're the person that's holding back, who's playing small, who's tempering your dreams and vision by what you think is realistic, by what's acceptable, by what's achievable. You're brilliant, you are bold, you are brave, and yet your imposter is in the driving seat. Sometimes, often or constantly, but whichever it is, it's too much. You feel worn, you feel jaded, and you feel tired, and you are so sick of the exhausting loop of feeling unworthy or not enough or a fraud. And you just need somebody to help you dare to dream again. My name is Claire Ackers, and I have been helping female leaders and entrepreneurs with imposter syndrome since 2007. I have helped hundreds to date. I'm the author of Imposter Syndrome is Killing Your Career, my new ebook that's part mindset mastery, part manual, and do get your copy when we've finished today's conversation. Today we're talking about the 10 most common signs of imposter syndrome in women. I invite you to grab pen and paper and see how many you resonate with, whether you even get a full house. So these are the 10 signs. Number 1 is you feel a fraud or a phony, and it's only a matter of time before somebody taps you on the shoulder and asks who the hell you think you are. Number 2 is you attribute your success to luck, or being in the right place at the right time, or computer error, or being part of a tick box exercise, or nepotism, anything but having earned it. And let's have total honesty here. It's so important because when you acknowledge where you are, you can plan a way forwards. It's like a sat-nav. There is absolutely no use putting in your destination without knowing your starting point. Let's move on to number 3, which is seeking approval or permission, that outside validation, that pat on the head that means that you don't trust your own judgment or intuition. And so you wait for the green light from somebody else. Also, a desperate need for recognition comes into this. Are you owning number 3? Number 4 is being a chronic overachiever and or control freak and or superwoman. My God, have you got something to prove? You work your backside off and over-prepare for stuff. But the problem is you never feel secure and you never feel satisfied. Number 5 is being paralysed by new level, new devil. This is where you have big dreams, but your imposter is keeping you small. And anytime you step outside your comfort zone, a new devil, a challenge, an obstacle pops up to block you, which means you are stuck in your comfort zone. Number 6 is procrastination or being a busy fool. If you do this one, it's where you are so busy that you don't need to do the scary things that will actually move the needle for you. Number 7 is obsessing over mistakes and or criticism. This is a biggie and I see this all the time. It's where you lie awake obsessing over a small mistake that nobody else even noticed, or taking constructive criticism to heart and as fact. Number 8 is toning down your voice and how you show up in order to fit in. It's where you find yourself conforming to corporate beige or biting your tongue so often it looks like a sieve. You feel, whether consciously or subconsciously, like you need to be somebody else in order to belong. And please know that it's so important you take radical responsibility for where you are in your business or career right now. It's so important to recognise exactly what's going wrong so we can do something about it. There is no shame in any of these signs. I found it very easy to come up with this list because I have done them all myself. So if one of these signs is resonating, own it. Be totally honest. Number 9 is being stuck in the good enough gratitude myth. This one is all about feeling like you should be grateful for what you have and like you'd be greedy or somehow jinx your good fortune if you were to really go for it. Like if you stick your head above the parapet, you'll become a target and people will realise who you really are, i.e. an imposter. Finally, we have number 10, which is giving up and accepting the status quo. This is where you're well aware you have imposter syndrome and you've tried to tackle it before. You've tried sticking plasters and maybe they've worked for a bit. But then something's happened, something's gone wrong, maybe you've self-sabotaged and your imposter pops up again. So you give up and accept the status quo. After all, 82% of women have imposter syndrome. Maybe you're just in good company, you're part of the herd. Maybe it's something you just have to put up with and accept. So that's the 10. Hopefully you can see yourself in at least a few of these signs. How many did you get? Did you get a full house? The key message I want to leave you with today is that these signs are absolutely not your fault. If you take nothing from today's conversation, please take that your imposter syndrome is not your fault. Whether you are crippled by imposter on a daily basis or whether it only pops up now and again when you do something mega stretchy, imposter syndrome is not your fault. In fact, you are biologically, physiologically and societally wired to have imposter syndrome, and it triggers my imposter syndrome having to pronounce that. But, and this is the big but, it is up to you whether you decide to do something about it. For real this time. To draw a line in the sand. To decide it's your time and you are ready and willing to make permanent, sustainable change. Because you absolutely can. All you need to do is take radical responsibility for where you are right now and decide things get to be different now. So here's an invitation. If you are sick of imposter syndrome holding you back and you are ready to be free, join me for my free online coaching series, the Imposter Bootcamp. I will be teaching you live for 5 free coaching workshops, Monday to Friday, where I will be sharing everything you need to know to be free of imposter in 5 days. And not just the theory, we're going to work on it together. You will get me walking by your side in 5 free bite-sized coaching workshops. There's a link in the show notes for wherever you are accessing this conversation. Go and check out the Imposter Bootcamp and reserve your spot now. Thanks for being here, and I will see you very soon.